that we wanted to go through with regards to voting. Voters can actually cast their ballots today by applying for an advance ballot or voting in person at the Miami County Clerk's office, which is located in the County Administration Building at 201 South Pearl in Paola. They're open from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, so you can go ahead and do your advanced voting anytime between now and August 5th. There will be extended hours for the advanced voting on Saturday, July 26th from 8 to 1:30 and July 31st from 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Actually, advanced voting will end August 4th at noon. The primary election will be held August 5th at your normal voting places from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So we want to remind everybody to get out and vote. I know I'm speaking to the choir here, otherwise you wouldn't be here. So at this time, I would like our first candidate, Mr. Gallagher, to come up and introduce himself, and we'll just go right to left.
Thank you. Good evening. I am Danny Gallagher, and I'm your 5th District County Commissioner. I was born and raised in Paola. I attended Paola High School and graduated in 1983. In 1989, I married my beautiful wife, Terry, who's here tonight, and last Tuesday, we just celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary. We have 9 awesome kids, and 5 girls and 4 boys ranging in age from 22 to 10. We have also recently been blessed with our first granddaughter. Our 4 oldest daughters are in college, and our oldest son will begin in the Army on September 9th. 2 of our sons attend Paola High School, and we also homeschool 1 son and one of our youngest daughter. In addition to being your county commissioner and a family man, I also farm about 750 acres of corn and soybeans, and I'm a champion builder for Team Applecare. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Merle McKoon. I'm a candidate for Commissioner District 5, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been a lifelong resident of Miami County, and the McKoon family has gone back over 100 years. And I continue to be a farmer and rancher out west of town. Our family received the Conservation Award in 2013. I'm a graduate of Paola High School in 1968. 1972 graduate at K-State, and currently vice president of the FFA alumni of Paola. And I would like to represent the citizens of Miami County by listening to individuals and groups' thoughts and opinions, helping to resolve issues to the best of my ability. As concerns are brought to my attention during the next 4 years, I want to be able to make informed decisions using a variety of resources. Working with the other commissioners, I will help Miami County grow and prosper using the rules and qualifications being provided for us, while being sensitive to the needs and wants of different individuals and groups. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Beverly Shane. I'm the Chief Financial Officer of a manufacturing business we started in our basement 25 years ago. Because of our ability to be financially responsible, seize opportunity, learn from experience, build relationships, and we invest, we have grown to employ over 45 employees, and our products are used internationally. Due to my experience within the county, through our local neighborhood watch, jail task force, and my husband working as a reserve deputy with the Sheriff's Department, I have seen a need to use my skills and what I have learned in life for the benefit of Miami County and you. Government is one of the closest government entities to the people. It regulates what you can do on your own property. Your voice should be heard. I will establish regular communication with you using newsletter, emails, and forming listening sessions at convenient times. I am a problem solver, communicator, and hard worker. I will work on road condition and safety issues, zoning and regulation reform, economic opportunity, financially responsible, and more. Thank you.
because our candidates for District 5 are standing back here a little bit, I think I'll have them each stand when they give their answers. If you want to move, just make sure that you can see our timer when you do. You're going to be shocked by this, but we have a repeat question. Where do you think the new Miami County Jail should be built and why? We're going to start out with Mr. McKoon.
The three options that are available. If you want to keep the sites of the historical courthouse, I believe the only option would be south of the administration building. Go down to Swami, you're going to have continuing transportation costs getting the prisoners back and forth. Thank you.
I actually don't like any of the locations that they're looking at currently. I was on the site committee, and the different location was presented as a possibility originally, and it has been eliminated. But I do prefer a green site. Even though we would have to continue to transport, a good portion of those expenses could be reduced with video appearances for courts. And the green site offers such an operational benefit to the sheriff's department. It would put them closer to the roads instead of having to drive through Paola. It gives them room to expand, rooms for programs, rooms for outdoor things. It allows more freedom for work with these programs if we could have the staffing to do that. And as I left the meeting yesterday, and I envisioned a 40,000 square foot building downtown, which would be bigger than our existing courthouse. What it does at either location, it takes the downtown and it really boxes it in, and there are so many additional complications with trying to establish parking. Changing angle parking, having to buy lots in order to do that. And downtown, the sheriff would not be able to park all his vehicles down there. We will still have issues with vehicle storage and evidence storage that would have to be somewhere other than downtown.
Well, this issue we've been talking about for more than 2 or 3 years now. I like the downtown. My biggest concern, besides just the safety, is making sure we're keeping Frank Kelly's costs, the sheriff's costs, as low as possible. We talked about this in depth yesterday. Down in the Oswego area, he said he would need 4 more officers. Costs about $250,000 more a year to transport the prisoners up to the courthouse. So keeping it as close to the courthouse as possible, keeping our costs, keeping your taxes as low as possible is my main concern.
Does anyone have anything else they'd like to add? Okay. What strategies would you use to raise revenues or cut expenses in the county's budget? So, what would you do to either raise revenues or cut expenses to the county's budget?
Cutting expenses is easiest done when you're purchasing. So I would look at all the different ways we purchase product. And examining the budget is very hard to tell because budgets have numbers of employees expressed like 10.2. It doesn't tell you exactly how many people are employed, so it's very difficult to judge on those things from a budget standpoint. Raising revenues, we need to increase our sales in Miami County. We lose a tremendous amount of sales out of the county to Johnson County. We need to find ways to bring those sales tax revenues back into the local area and encourage and grow businesses that have the capacity to draw sales tax.
Well, on the sales tax, we are running at the highest level in Miami County we have in a long time. So about 1/3 of our income for the county comes from sales tax. So another thing is we are on our last payment of paying about half the debt off for Miami County. and that payment is around $1.2 million a year. We are not going to re-borrow money. We are using that to reinvest back in the county, that $1.2 million. About $600,000 is going back into the road department, and about $250,000 is going to be invested into the sheriff's department for more officers. So I feel real good about that. By 2018, half of the rest of the debt will be paid off. So we will be, in just a few short years, we will be almost debt-free in this county.
What strategies would you use to raise revenues or cut expenses in the county's budget? Remember to speak closely.
Need to keep a close line on the expenses of the county and try to encourage more people to shop at home and do more businesses.
Two things on the budget, on the decrease expenses for debt. It's great, but when our jail committee first formed, and I looked at the budget for the county and I saw that we would be relieving that debt load, I asked the county why we couldn't use that money to build a jail instead of enacting a new sales tax. I was told at that time that that money was already allocated to other things. That is why we had to have a sales tax instead of being able to use those funds for the jail. Also in the county, our sales tax revenue, we have in our own economic climate report, a report that Miami County has a 0.63 pull rating on their sales tax. 1 or better is considered healthy. We are losing more in sales tax to surrounding counties than we're bringing in, and half of our workforce in the county comes from surrounding counties, not from Miami County.
Well, to me, when the sales tax is the largest it's ever been, that is a true sign that more money is being spent in Miami County, more businesses. I think we have a good pro-business attitude in the county. All the commissioners are extremely pro-business, and we are looking for any ways to bring more business in the county. One thing that in Johnson County, they don't even have a economic development department, and we do. And but the cities up there, they work and fight to get businesses to come to their cities. And so that's what I'm hoping the cities in Miami County will do, just get involved a lot more in that.
Okay, I believe it's Mr. Gallagher's turn to go first. How would you encourage business to come to Miami County?
Well, one big part, and I've been working real close with the ag tourism people, and actually we're going to open that up. The Planning Commission is actually going to meet out at the Somerset Winery and here in about 3 weeks and discuss ways to lighten any of the regulation burden because that is a booming part of this county. A lot of people from the Johnson County area, they want to get out of the city, come down somewhere that's just a few miles away, see the country life, and I'm excited about that part.
What would you do to encourage business to come to Miami County?
Well, I would encourage other business to look at the quality of life that we have in Miami County and the workforce, one of the best workforces around. And just try to talk to people, brag up what happens in this county, and encourage show other businesses around the county so they can see how good a workforce we have.
have a lot of price that's very high priced, that land is high priced, it's at good locations, and we don't have infrastructure. So we would have to decide whether or not we want to make that commitment, because businesses probably will not.
Well, when it comes to infrastructure, as far as the county building it, it takes tax money to do that. And so we have to balance that, of course. But we do have 2 great 4 lanes in Miami County coming through. And so honestly, I think we have a good infrastructure in Miami County.
Okay, I believe this is Mr. McKoon's turn to go first. Why do you feel taxes are higher in Miami County than those in Johnson County?
I didn't really know that word, but I haven't really delved into all the tax issues, but that's one thing I want to look into, learn about as we go.
Johnson County has a lot more sources of revenue than we have down here. They have more building, they have more fees, more permits, more regulation, more retail, and they just have so many more sources down here. The majority of the sources down here are property tax and sales tax, and they have a lot more options.
Here in Miami County, when you pay your taxes, only about 40% goes to the county. On the average, about 56% goes to the schools. And so, on the average, when a person pays, I've been going around door to door, I've been handing this example out. Basically, when a person pays their taxes on a $100,000 valuation, you pay about $1,268. Only about 525 of that actually goes to the county. Okay, so a lot of people are surprised at that. 36% of that goes into the county money goes into the road and the bridge department, and about $100 out of that $1,268 goes to the sheriff and jail operations and the ambulance service. Those are our 3 main services in the county. They employ about 150 people, which is about 3/4 of our workforce for Miami County.
The other thing in addition is commercial property and residential property is taxed at 2 different rates. At our local level, we charge, I believe it's 11.5% on assessed value for residences. It's 25% on commercial properties. If we had more commercial properties, they would be paying a larger portion of theirs for their assessed value.
What is your feeling with regards to tax abatements to entice larger companies to come to Miami County? Property tax. What is your opinion with regards to giving tax abatements to large companies who would like to relocate to Miami County? And I believe that's Ms. Shane's turn.
A little bit of something of new dollars is better than none of none. I don't like to show favoritism to new business over old business and to offer opportunities to that, but as I said, something is better than nothing.
On tax abatements, if there is no other competition in the county, I would encourage maybe a 50-50 type abatement for maybe 10 years. If there is direct competition, I would have to do a lot of thinking about that, because it's totally unfair to the business that we already have here. And so if we gave it to a new company coming in that had direct competition, we would need to give that to that same company here. But that kind of starts opening up another can of worms too. So have to do a lot of thinking on that. Main thing I would encourage is new businesses that have no competition and in the county to come in and to give them that tax abatement possibly.
good to a point. Depends on how much the county has to fork over. If we aren't going to get that much back in revenue, we're going to be in debt to cover the services to bring them in. I'm not in favor of that. Depends on the company, how much, the amount of the abatement, and what cost the county would insert.
That completes our questioning. If we can give you guys each about 30 seconds to any closing comments that you would like to make. Starting with Mr. Gallagher.
Well, I've had an awesome time being commissioner for 4 years, and I'd like another 4 years. We've got a great group of people working for the county. The commissioners on board, we get along great. We're all extremely want the best for Miami County. We're real close to picking a site for the jail. It's probably maybe the #1 concern for the county, for the people, and I love the idea that we're getting half the debt is coming off, and keeping this county as debt-free as possible, but also providing the services that's needed for this county.
I'd like to thank you all for coming out and encourage you all to go out and vote and get your neighbors to vote. This is one of the privileges of our country, having different candidates able to vote for your choice. Thank you.
I made the last-minute decision to file for this office because of the newspaper and repeated articles of people asking for someone to run that would have a different vision. I believe I'm that person. I'd like to be a part of that. Thank you for coming tonight.
Once again, thank you to our candidates. For a lot of our candidates, I'm sure it's the first time they've ever had to answer questions in front of a large crowd, and I admire their guts and stick-to-itiveness and